Hello, precious souls. Huge welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for all of your support. I appreciate whenever you share my videos, whenever you like my videos, when you drop the comments. I just want you to know that I read all of them, and I would also love to encourage you to leave your comments because it helps me to tap into your energy, and it helps me to bring more variety into my readings. So it doesn't matter what you want to say in your comments, but that helps me to pick up on your energy, and as a collective, it really helps me with my readings. So today, this is a very specific message for those souls out there who could be struggling between their mind and their soul's presence. When you travel to that empty space and you realize in that moment, wow, everything is so pure, everything is so still, my identity is not there, all those ideas about myself, about the world is not there. And maybe sometimes it's so frustrating at the same time, like the question arises in us, what to do with this now? Because it's so tempting to go back to the mind. And when I was being prepared to deliver this message, I heard from Spirit that even the music which we listen, the moment when we wake up, we might want to pick up the pieces from yesterday, to travel back to yesterday. So here Spirit says, watch out what kind of music you listen to. Are you often feeling drawn towards listening to something that makes you go into the old stories, old emotions? Sometimes it's good to process whatever was not being processed, but I see that here it's such a huge temptation to travel back to the mind and all those ideas, all that little box, all that little I. So what shall we do with that when we know we can travel to this very empty space? We don't like, we can see everything so clearly. We can see where we limit ourselves, where we hold on to all those ideas about ourselves, what is being created from our mind. Like, this is very difficult place to be at, and maybe some of you, I hope that you will resonate and this message will bring you like a confirmation to what you are already sensing. So right now in this moment, I notice I'm seeing number 44, and here I also have number 44. So the keyword here is believe. So I see that Spirit wants us to truly believe that it's possible to be in this space which is so sacred to us, and we don't need to be afraid of those temptations when something rises in us. Like, all we have to do is believe that anything is possible. And we have number 5, rise above fear. Heart overhead. Choosing heart overhead is not easy thing to do. And I see that we are rising together as a collective, and deep down we know that there is only love, only unity, only purity of ourselves, and everything else is just being created from our ego, all those ideas in our heads. But how can we stay? How can you walk this path with this truth instead of being overwhelmed, instead of feeling afraid that it's only like a glimpse of that reality? How can we be in this reality every single day? Because there is this resistance. There is, the mind will always be there, but we always have awareness. We always know where our energy is going. But also I hear from spirit, when everything is happening fast in our own energy, it feels like we don't feel it, we are not fully aware what is happening in our own energy. So here we have a curse. Many of us, we don't talk about this, we keep it to ourselves. And Spirit says it's important for us to have clarity, to have those inner conversations, but express that truth. Let it all out. Don't feel like you are doing this alone, because many of us are rising. Many of us are choosing our hearts over our heads. This reality is full of truth, the secret truth of our hearts. But sometimes it might feel like, is this a curse? Is this always gonna be like that? Like this falling and rising? Like it's peaceful for a moment, and then the mind brings something into the surface, and then we feel like being lost, confused. Spirit says, believe that every moment you choose your heart to be still, to be this great observer without judging yourself, then you choose this change already. It's all about awareness. It's all about noticing where our energy is flowing. Actually, Spirit says it's much easier than you think that it is. It's all, if we allow ourselves to be in the flow, continuously flowing, every moment feels so naturally free. We have middle world. Everything that is happening here in this 3D reality It's not supposed to be easy. And that's the way it is for many of us, like living here in this 3D reality. It cannot be just us reaching this highest dimension and that's it, the work is done. Like every time we unlock something within ourselves, we find this new gate with this other dimension. We will always be tested. We will always be continuously rising. So everything is always changing. Many beginnings, many endings, but everything is in a flow. So Spirit says that always remember that when you are not in a flow, you are trying to control, you're trying to resist. It is okay to explore what is there in our ego, in our minds. But it's all about awareness. It's all about being the observer without judging yourself. Coming back home. Every moment of our existence is like that. We have that free will, that we have that choice which we can make, and at any moment when we choose to come back home. Flow, flow, flow. I keep hearing this word. The mind will often try to distract us, to come back. The mind will always try to bring something from yesterday, from the day before, from our past. Don't need to fight that. Don't need to to feel so bad about it that we would think to ourselves that we are not evolving. We do every moment when we just choose to stay grounded. We choose to say no to any temptation. Like if we bring that slowness, that very slow, still energy, where we always take our time before we do something or while we are doing it, we already bring that awareness, that shift into our higher selves. And then we just know what is the truth and what is the illusion from our minds. So you are always growing. You are always removing some layers of your ego. But Spirit says, watch out when you feel tempted to do something really quickly, when you fall into this fast movement of energy. It could be fun for a moment, but also you could end up being drained. Also, there will always be many temptations from other people where other people could drag us into their drama, into their story. So to prioritize our solitude, our peace. Remember, love is peace. So even I love to repeat those words to myself whenever I feel a certain inner conflict. I tell myself, I remind myself that love is peace. Slowly bringing back yourself into that peaceful energy. This is where you belong. You know that you are the ancient soul. You're here not to do the easy work. You're here for the higher truths. And that will never be easy. With this card initiation, straight away, I just reflect back onto my own journey. This card runs so deep, like it's so rooted within me, because it reminds me my own journey, where I would always pick this card for myself, and it was guiding me from long time ago. So I feel that for many of us, this is a message which is the reminder that we have been doing this inner work, inner healing, this initiation of our soul. We've been on it for such a long time. So it gets easier, it gets lighter. More we do it, more we realize that we have overcome so many obstacles, so many inner conflicts. We have risen so many times. And I keep hearing your spirit guides telling you that if you are grounded, if you are relaxed, if you are at peace, if you are committed to your sacred rituals where you bring your mind back to your heart, like it's so still, this is when everything becomes easier to observe. When something is rising in you, something is coming from your ego, something is coming to, like a volcano, to interrupt your peace, to disturb your peace. A silent observer you are, and that ancient world is what your soul is longing for. And you know that this is what you came here to do. To be nobody, to have no identity, to even forget what happened yesterday, and bring this empty space into every moment of your existence. So now, I don't know why Spirit says to me, what would be the music? What would be the song you would choose to listen in this moment? And I understand why Spirit says to me this. It's because I don't have any music in my head. It's empty. It's very still. So this is a confirmation that I am empty and I don't need to go back to the music which I have listened before. Maybe it's time to listen to something new. So I feel Spirit is trying to tell us that, especially for those people who love music a lot, don't always fall into this temptation where you hear a certain song in your mind and you feel called to listen to that again. Empty yourself until you have no songs. Just like what was happening to me in this moment, how Spirit was giving me this idea that when you are empty, you don't receive any song. That's when you know that you are ready to go. You're ready to go on a new adventure. You're ready to rise higher than ever before. But don't get me wrong, sometimes it's important to receive certain songs, especially if you channel spirit through music as well, the way I do. Like, let's say you receive a song which you haven't listened for a very long time. So you know that that is your higher self trying to tell you something through that song. But for example, if you wake up and if you start your day and straight away you feel tempted to listen to the songs which you have listened before recently, that's just a sign that put it back where it belongs. Allow yourself to fall into this sacred space. Be very, very empty, very, very still. Your mind and your heart feels as one instead of your mind being in this race, racing thoughts. So I feel that many of you, when you are grounded, you start to believe that there's so much more than you, than what you experience, something bigger, something greater. I mean, you are a huge part of that. You're not less. You feel there is so much guidance, so much light, so much hope. But in our minds and our heads, there is so much fear. That's why I feel we have number 55, rise above a fear. In this message, I feel so light, so free. And I know that many of you, you want to feel this way, and you are committed, you are devoted to your spiritual journey. I also receive another message from Spirit. Reflect back on your life. Even today, in this moment, after you listen to this message, think about yourself, where you were on your journey, what you have overcome already, like the last 2-3 years. You know you're not the same anymore. You know that you are being initiated, and your spirit guides are always with you. They are walking with you, and there is so much to experience. This journey is not meant to be all just so serious. There is also this huge importance to nurture your inner child. This is what I am being taught a lot recently. Like every day, I'm doing something to make my inner child happy. So this is a huge part of your spiritual journey. To be still, to be slow, and to really listen to your inner child. Because every moment of your existence, it will be so unique, so authentic. Let's say your inner child just wants you to have more rest, like really snuggle in your blanket and maybe spend more time just resting, reading your favorite book, maybe even watching cartoons to remember your childhood, to be silly, to be naughty, to feel alive, to have that spark in you. That spark is always there, but being an adult, sometimes we caught up in our routine and our goals. We are so serious, but what about inner child? I don't know why, but I also feel some of you, if you haven't listened to my previous reading, which is called Music is Your World, I sense that this video could make you happy, could make your inner child really happy, because I really felt so happy just delivering this reading for you, to pick some songs and to describe you with those songs and choosing oracle cards. So right now, I am just channeling whatever Spirit wants you to know. Thank you so much for listening. Just for me to know that you're being present and you resonate with my readings, it means the world to me. So all my love to you and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.